Achieving mastery in even a single field is remarkably rare. Yet Josh Waitzkin managed to reach the global peak of two disciplines that share almost no common ground. He was a national chess champion by age 9, but later abandoned the game to study the martial art of Tai Chi Chuan. By 2004, he had won a world championship in that sport as well. Waitzkin's success was built on a repeatable 6-step system for rapid skill acquisition, which he documented to show others how to replicate his results. We are going to build your personal version of that system right now. Grab a pen and a blank piece of paper and write your target skill at the very top. This physical act is the first step in turning an abstract ambition into a concrete roadmap that you can actually execute. Step 1 is to isolate the micro skill. Beginners often fail because they try to learn an entire syllabus at once, becoming overwhelmed by the total volume of information. This image illustrates Waitzkin's training method. While other students practiced with every piece on the board, he stripped the game down to its smallest components, practicing moves with only a king and a pawn to master the underlying mechanics. It is the same principle that helps a writer overcome a block. Instead of trying to describe an entire city, they focus on the specific texture of a single brick on one building. Once the micro detail is understood, the larger picture becomes manageable. On your blueprint, identify the absolute smallest, most isolated subskill within your chosen field and write it down. Step 2 is to schedule a loss. Growth requires you to find the limits of your current ability as quickly as possible. Even as an 8-year-old, Waitzkin sought out games against much older adults. He chose to lose repeatedly because those defeats exposed him to strategies he would never see within his own age group. While his peers protected their undefeated reputations by playing weaker opponents, Waitzkin was systematically dismantling his own ego to gather superior information. Write down one way you will test yourself against a superior force this week, such as a difficult mock exam or a match against a higher-ranked opponent. Treat every defeat as a mandatory data collection exercise. These moments highlight the exact technical errors you need to fix to move to the next level. Step 3 is to plan for dirty play. When you are learning, you must assume that environmental chaos and unfair conditions will occur. In high-stakes matches, opponents would attempt to break Waitzkin's concentration by violently kicking his legs or creating distracting vibrations under the table. Rather than letting the unfairness frustrate him, he trained himself to find his best moves while being actively disrupted. He made the chaos a part of his practice. On your blueprint, list 2 disruptions that usually throw you off. Next to them, write down a specific, calm response you will use the next time they happen. Step 4 is to reset to a child's sense of freedom. After a movie was made about his life, Waitzkin felt the crushing weight of public expectation. The fear of failing in front of an audience made it impossible for him to take the creative risks necessary for growth. He only regained his momentum when he started Tai Chi, where he was a total unknown. Having no reputation to protect allowed him to make mistakes freely and learn with pure curiosity. Identify the biggest ego-driven fear that stops you from taking risks in your skill. Write it on your blueprint and cross it out. Rapid learning requires you to shed the fear of looking foolish and embrace the trial and error mindset of a child. Step 5 is to secure a sparring. Waitzkin mastered martial arts by training daily with a partner who was already at the top of the field. This constant exchange of secrets and direct feedback accelerated his progress far beyond what he could achieve alone. Write down the name of one person who is currently better than you at this skill and commit to asking them for honest feedback today. Step 6 is to audit your neglected blind spots. For years, Waitzkin favored his dominant right hand in training. It took a severe injury to that arm to force him to develop his left, eventually creating a balanced and far more dangerous set of skills. This pattern of neglected subskills applies to businesses too. When an organization ignores a shift like AI, they are essentially fighting with one hand tied behind their back, waiting for a market crisis to force a desperate adaptation. Look for the specific part of your skill that you find boring or difficult to practice. Mark that as your primary focus for tomorrow. Proactively attacking your weaknesses on your own terms prevents a catastrophic failure when external pressures eventually expose them. Look at the paper in front of you. You have taken a vague, overwhelming goal and broken it down into a 6-step personalized blueprint. You now have a plan for managing failure, a strategy for handling distractions, and a method for sourcing help. Do not file this paper away. Take the micro skill you identified in Step 1 and begin practicing it immediately. If your target skill is content creation or script writing, we are hosting a webinar this Sunday that covers an 11-step creation process. You can register via the link below to receive a mystery-free gift. Becoming dangerously self-educated is the direct result of applying this specific rigor to every skill you attempt.